I didn't really have any capital going into this. You know, Rhea and I did a crowdfunding campaign that we raised like $15,000 or something like that. It was a good chunk of money, but when you're talking downtown rent and trying to get a business up and running, it just kind of disintegrated in our hands. RadarStation was working. It was finally starting to work.
Right.
I'd gotten my margins of the alcohol dialed in. It's a fascinating industry, but I was never going to do that part of it. That was going to be Rhea. So everything just, you basically have to put on all those hats and figure out how to do it. And it was starting to work, but just barely. The Cliff Notes version, I guess, would be that I'm losing my building. The building owners are not renewing my lease. As to the whys, I don't know, I would sum it up by saying we just ultimately had some compatibility issues, maybe some disagreements about where things should go. Essentially, come January, there's no home for RadarStation.
Okay.
So initially, my response to that was just looking into, well, where am I going to move it? And all of that, you know, stopping that momentum cold. The quickest I could be up and running, I'm guessing, would be a couple of months, but that's not very likely. I'm kind of in that part of the relationship, if to use the analogy of a breakup, where I'm like, relationships are stupid, you know, never again.
Sure.
But I don't know, if once that all mellows out a bit, and if something popped up, and there are a few spaces and people that are really excited to get RadarStation in it, to the point where they just like kind of like lowering their rent. There's, without tooting my own horn, there's nothing else like RadarStation.
No,
and when it
not
goes
at all.
away, nothing's going to replace it except another RadarStation. So for the people that go to it and they have found it to be a safe place, whether that's being accepted for whatever lifestyle they live, whatever you know, their politics, however they live, whatever they're into, they've found that safe harbor, or a place that you can get up and try stand-up comedy. For those people to see that going away, I think is painful. You know, it's not just, oh, that's a bummer. Businesses come and go, and it's always a bummer to see one that you like come and go. But this one, I think, is unique in that it does so much for so many people. I always knew that the only reason anyone ever cared about RadarStation was because it could go anywhere.
Right.
But there are a lot of people that have never stepped foot in RadarStation that are upset that it's going away. And I found that interesting. They like the idea of it. They like the idea that this thing exists, even though maybe they're not going to go out and see a drag show. It's an odd place, and I can't take credit for a lot of that. It's the people that have found it and fallen in love with it.